Uh, in the mid and late 1980s, we were just starting to learn a little bit about the moldable and recoverable brain, and eventually into the 90s and early 2000s, this was known as neuroplasticity. And before it was even named neuroplasticity and the brain could be remalleable, we certainly saw that, and I saw the potential and promise for people to recover truly quality of life through intense rehabilitation, higher levels of dopamine, neuroplasticity, and the list goes on.
Interesting, because that word neuroplasticity, um, something, most people, most practitioners or most people back then in the 80s and 90s thought of it as helping stroke patients recover. How should coaches, trainers, and athletes think about that today?
I love that question. I'll stay as short as I can. Neuroplasticity is the underpinning of all forms of learning. Okay. And we have three basic types of memories, right? We have fact-based memories. We call them semantic memories. We have episodic memories. I make a memory of an event, first time I took a flight or went to Disneyland, etc. And then finally, we have procedural memories, which are skill-based, movement-based memories, where your brain starts to figure out how to throw that curveball, how to flick your wrist at the end of that free throw, how to put spin or fade on a golf ball, etc. So all three of those memories, facts, events, and movements, are stored in your brain. But the only way we make any learning stick is by communicating two neurons that never communicated, or by diversifying the connections. And I'll be very brief about that. You can expand the dendrites. You can also make connections more efficient. All of those functions are called neuroplasticity. So for any athlete, any Jerry athlete or young athlete that wants to learn a movement or understand a strategy or remember a play better, all of those things require memory, which means all of those things require neuroplasticity. But it's just like the Women's Health Initiative of don't take hormone replacement. A study, a medical concept stays in the minds of the consumers, of the people, much longer than that study itself has been debunked. And so now we know. I took that from the world of neuroplasticity and the world of neurologic rehabilitation. You lose what you don't use, and that happens in persons with multiple sclerosis. Same thing was happening in people with Parkinson's disease. We suppress your expectations and you fulfill those suppressed expectations. Now the same thing is something we have to undo in aging.